Hey guys,
And X.
and we are
Two guys talking games.
episode 21.
Yeah, man. 21. 21. Yeah. It's freaking awesome.
Moving along.
Awesome, dude. Can't wait. It's nearing. And 1 week closer to Dark Souls.
Yep.
Deuce. Can't wait, man.
That's true.
Can't wait. It's going to be
True,
phenomenal.
Man. Is coming very, very
Oh,
quickly.
yeah. Next month, man. Ooh.
Very quickly, man. What are you playing?
Oh, man. What am I not playing? Jesus. Alright. I hit hard. Valhalla Nights 3, I'm not done with it. I've been doing just nothing but side quests, trying to grind, level my characters up. I had to rebuild my whole party, and so I got that. I had to put that in the back burner because, of course, this past Friday, Bravely Default came out. It's been like, oh, Bravely Default! It's freaking awesome, man. Very awesome. Got the collector's edition. Really cool. Very cool. The artwork is really nice. Came with the soundtrack, nice. You know, came with these cards that, you know, you put them down, you view it with your AR viewer and your 3DS, and it basically it's awesome because then it does like this whole movie on your 3DS, and you move around, and it's pretty much like in front of you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, really?
It uses its ultra was that ultra reality or AR reality, whatever it is. Augmented reality. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That sounds
I've been hitting the game pretty hard. All my first initial, the 4 characters, got them. All 4 of them are level 10, and I had to put it down. I got my first 5 hours impressions of it. Which I'll talk about in a bit. And after that, other than that, I've been I finished Diablo. Of course, I finished Diablo 3. Awesome game. Started over on Nightmare, is it? Been doing that, and then I don't know. I was checking out the old games, and I had a hankering for some more of that, hell stuff, and I picked up Dante's Inferno.
Oh yeah.
Picked up Dante's Inferno. Been playing. I played the hell out of that yesterday. Oh my god, until like 1:30 in the morning. It's really good. Really good game. It's a good button masher type of game.
Our buddy Mike played that. He said he liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's a really good game. For what it is. I mean, it came out a couple of years ago, and
How much?
It was $15, I believe. I picked it up for.
Okay. Not bad.
I mean, it wasn't bad. The game is good. It really is. It really is. The cutscenes are awesome. The way it looks, it's phenomenal. Like the cutscenes and stuff. The game looks great. It plays awesome. It's really good. It's a really good game.
I played the demo to that. Do you own Dead Island?
Yes,
still?
I do.
Okay, I was gonna say because if you traded it in, it's free.
Yeah. I know. I saw that, but
it's kind of cool.
But I own that, and I own Riptide, so
yeah. So there's
doesn't
no reason for you to
doesn't really affect me in any way.
pick it up.
So that's what I've been playing, man. I've been got my damn. I'm full of games, man. Freaking backed up like crazy. I don't know what it is.
That's a good thing, man. When it comes to games.
Well,
I think I'm.
No. I'm just saying. And it's.
Yeah.
That's. That's why I don't understand how. We'll talk about it later on with the thing. It's just how people could just play one system, one genre, one. No, you just can't, man. The variety out there is freaking ridiculous. It just really is.
Yeah, there are a lot of choices, man. There are a lot of choices, that's for sure, man. Especially, come on, video games, man. There's like 5-6 systems right now you could be playing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I just have one that works. Well, actually, no, we actually technically we have 3. We have the PSP, 3DS, and the 360 that's still working. Well, I think I'm going to change my name to Retro Richie.
Retro Richie, okay. Why?
I don't play new games. I'm going back to old games, man. I started playing the crap out of Max Payne. Why? Last Super Bowl Sunday, I just popped it in, started playing it. I'm probably about 5-6 hours in. I played the majority of the game already. I love that game. Still, tinkering with Dark Souls again.
Well, I mean, that's Dark Souls, man. That shit.
That's Dark
Once
Souls.
it's got its hooks on you, man, it won't let you go. It really won't.
I was mad. I was in a Tomb of Giants. I had like 30,000 souls.
Died.
Fell off a cliff.
Sucker!
Turn the power off. I'm like, okay.
Son of a bitch.
I got a little bored with Diablo 3. I'm almost done with Nightmare mode, but I got a little bored. And I turned it off. I'm like, I'll probably go back to it.
Well, see, that's.
I guess I played it.
That's the whole thing. Yeah, so did I. I got almost to the end of Act 1 on Nightmare mode, and I'm like, all right, what is the saving grace of this game? I'm not doing co-op. You know what I mean? Because if you're doing it with other people, yes, the game gets harder. You get more enemies. It becomes so much more fun because you're playing with different people. When you're doing it by yourself, yeah, you'll play it once, halfway through the others, and then you're like, I gotta put it down. I got nobody else to play with on this. You know what I mean? It makes the game that much better. It really does. That's why, that discussion we had a couple weeks ago, co-op, man, co-op makes a big difference.
Yeah, I love to play co-op, man. If we can find a time to hook up. Did Adrian ever pick up the game?
No, I've been on his ass if he can pick it up, but he's in the need right now to pick up a handheld for his job now and stuff. He's in that market right now, so he's he better be, because if not, I already told him what's gonna happen, man. He's gonna end up being bored out of his mind, and he's gonna be like, what the hell,
About 2 weeks ago, they had a sale at Best Buy. The Vita was $189, which was $10 off. The Wi-Fi though, and they had some 30% off coupon, so it was like $135.
Oh wow! Like you should have jumped on that. Why didn't you jump on that?
I found out about it the day before it stopped.
That's a damn shame.
It was too late.
That's a
I would have
shame,
picked it up for that price, no problem.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a
man.
steal right
I can't believe you let that one go. Wow.
Yeah, like crap. And then I looked at the dates. I'm like, oh geez,
wow.
Man, why did I find out about this now? And I look at news all the time, so I don't know how I missed it.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. Because for that price with all the games that are on it, I'm telling you, man, I'm backed up as is, and and now this game came out for the 3DS, Bravely Default. I knew it was coming down the pike. It's just that you get backed up with games. It's like, it's ridiculous, and to take a page from Moody's book. I hope you're listening to this. Yeah. Let me see if I can quote him correctly. If you're not playing Bravely Default right now, you seriously need to reevaluate your life's priorities. There you go. There you go.
He did say that about was it Dragon's Crown and
It was one of those. It was one of those.
One of those, right? Yeah.
So there you go. Seriously, if you're not playing Bravely Default, you really need to reevaluate your life right now. That's the game is actually that good. The game is really, really good. Especially if you're a fan of the old school JRPGs from the 90s, man, you better do what you got to do and pick this game up. Pick this game up. Yeah.
Man. Well, we got a lot of stuff in the news category, that's for sure. Borderlands 2, man, they keep coming out with this. It's like
DLC.
They keep coming out with holiday DLC.
The DLC, I saw that. I'm like, what the hell? Like, damn. How much is the freaking Game of the Year edition gonna be? $200?
Well, the good thing is there's such short packs. They're like 2 or 3 hour DLC add-ons. This one's coming out Tuesday, the 11th. It's Mad Moxie and the Wedding Day Massacre. It's a Valentine's Day themed pack selling for $2.99. I got to give them credit, man. They come up with really cool ideas, and they came up with one for Thanksgiving, and one for Halloween, one for Christmas, and now one for Valentine's Day. I'm thinking that's about it, unless they come out with one for either Easter or
Well.
St.
Well, see, here's the thing. Those are two good ones right there. Easter, they can have this killer rabbit, and St. Patrick's Day, they can have one of those small little psychos. Be a little leprechaun with money and all that stuff. There you go. Yeah.
Crazy. So you probably
they'll have some Cinco de Mayo one with like a big mustache and one of them big sombreros.
Because they did say, I think they said they were coming out with 5 of these.
Damn.
So if you think about it, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Valentine's, they got at least
one more.
So,
Let's see.
You know, I got the Halloween one, but it looked cool.
Mm.
It was like an hour and a half. Worth the $3.
Anyway,
Anyway,
nope.
BioShock Infinite, Burial at Sea, Episode 2. Yes, comes out March 25th for $14.99, or free for anyone who has a season pass. Kevin, keep seeing Kevin. Ken Levine said this episode will be between 5 and 6 hours if you are a completionist. So it's going to be a lot longer than the first one. The first one was about 3, even though I couldn't.
It freaking anyway. Sucks, man. That goddamn spring is the new fall. I got all these games I got to play, and now they're coming out with more. Jeez, March is going to be freaking ridiculous between Dark Souls 2, Titanfall, this DLC, and I know there's another game I'm forgetting about.
I thought we were speaking of Moody before. I thought he said something about Metal Gear coming out.
I believe so, Metal Gear. But see, I'm a little wary about that. I might end up letting that one go and picking up later on for the simple reason that they're saying that the game is only 2 hours long.
What is it? What is it for? What system? The Vita?
No, it's for the Xbox One and the current the current and I believe the last gen as well. No, I think it's just current gen. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I believe. I might be mistaken. It might be for PlayStation 3 and F360, but it's the one that's coming out now. So,
gosh, for some reason I thought it wasn't coming out yet, but anyway. Well, there's 2 updates coming for the Xbox One. The first one's going to be Tuesday.
Yeah.
This one will have a lot of behind-the-scenes improvements, ranging from general stability to improved fluidity of Kinect, voice commands, and it's also going to give you the ability to manage your console's storage space. Okay. Apparently, this has been heavily requested by the Xbox community. I don't know what they mean by storage space, to be completely honest. I'm not sure. The second one is coming out on March 4th. This one's primarily to prepare the Xbox for Titanfall.
Okay.
So there must be something they're doing update-wise for Titanfall. I imagine that's going to be a huge game.
Of course. That's
it's going to be huge.
That's already ridiculously reserved. I got. Oh God, yeah, it's going to be a huge mess in March, man.
I'm wondering what the pre-sales, the pre-orders are for.
I know we're gonna have to look that up on VG Shows.
See what they got. I was actually gonna look it up right now, while we're on. Oh, here we go with the please take a moment from our sponsor. Oh, I hate when they do that. Because I can only imagine. I've seen that game advertised
everywhere.
It's gotta be.
Oh,
here we go.
You know what other game I've been playing that I also purchased? The EA was having that sale. I wanted to mention this real quick. They were having that sale, the EA sale this past week. I bought it for $5. Mirror's Edge.
Oh, $5.
$5
Can't go
for
wrong
Mirror's Edge, man. And Mirror's Edge was a really good game. And I was playing it, got back into the groove with the running, jumping.
Yeah.
Getting from point A to point B without killing anybody. It's really good. It was really good. I did like the first 3 stages.
Yeah, that game did remind me of my nephew was over last night, and I was looking up on YouTube. We were looking at Outlast videos, which is it was on PC last year. It just came out for free on the PlayStation Network, only on the PS4, and it plays a lot like Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge, I know you have a choice. You could kill people with guns, but there was that achievement, as you know, and I know. Go through the whole game without killing anyone. Well, in Outlast, you don't have a choice. You either run, hide, or die.
Oh, okay.
So, and the way it is in a first-person perspective is it looks a lot like Mirror's Edge, but you literally throughout the whole game you can't shoot anything, kill anything. You got to run, hide, or die. So it's pretty scary in that respect. But it reminded me of Mirror's Edge, which is it's funny you should mention Mirror's Edge, and we're just checking out Outlast, man. That looks like a creepy game, man. Creepy game. But Titanfall is number 1 on the pre-orders. Only thing is, I'm surprised the pre-orders are so low. Especially being number 1 on a list of many games. it's got 230,000
Okay.
pre-orders. So I'm looking. That's for the Xbox One edition, and I'm looking for the 360 edition to see if that's even on here. And it's actually no, number 26 is Titanfall for the PC. That's 63,000,
Okay.
and number 27 is Titanfall for the 360, and that's 55,000.
Right.
Pre-orders are not. I mean, Titanfall's number 1, and there's only 230,000 pre-orders. There's not a lot of pre-orders for any games.
Yeah, people are just not pre-ordering right now. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure if it was in the fall, they probably would. You also got to think about that the systems just came out, and I'm sure a lot of people's pockets are hurting. They're not like you and I, where they really wouldn't.
And you know what? I have noticed, looking at the list, like the top 20, in the past, the list would look different in this respect. The first top 5 or so would have like, 1 million pre-orders, 500,000 pre-orders, and then like number 6 would be like 20,000.
Right.
But this one looks more evened out. Like a lot of the numbers are very, very close.
Well, see, that's the whole thing, man. The new systems just came out. Titanfall is a new IP, so there's a lot of weary people like myself. I have not pre-ordered Titanfall yet. I really have not.
Yeah.
I want to see reviews. I want to see. I'm wary. It's a new IP. Yes, the videos I've seen looks good, but they could dress up a piece of turd however they want. I'm not about to get brinked. This is something new, and I'm being cautious. It is what it is. I'm not about to spend, $60 on a game that ends up being, I end up getting brinked. You know what I mean? It's going to be a piece of crap. Yeah. No, hell no. Because, they are announcing it everywhere. Let me see reviews on when this game comes out. If it gets solids 8s and up, I'll end up reserving it and picking it up. Until then, no.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait and see. I
new IP. Now, if this game freaking blows it out of the water, and then they announce Titanfall 2 to come out in 2 years from now, I'm gonna pre-order the mess out of it and watch those pre-orders be ridiculously high. You know what I mean? Yeah. It is what it is. That's what normally happens.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I mean, if it gets like 9s and 9s and up, that'll be great. That'll be great. I just looked on this other pre-order list here. Dark Souls 2 is number 9. I'm just curious. Dark Souls 2 is number 9, 153,000 for the PS3, and the 360 version is number 15 with 105,000. I'm just curious to see how it's doing with pre-orders. That's decent for Dark Souls.
I mean, I have mine pre-ordered. See, that one I have pre-ordered. Dark Souls 1,
I do too.
The first one I didn't have pre-order. I didn't pre-order it because I didn't know it was a new IP. The second one, pre-ordered the collector's edition. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a day one pay. I don't usually pick up games on day one because of the price. I'm just too cheap. But no, that's one. That's a must.
That is a must. That is a must. So.
Well, I think that's it for. Yeah, that's just it for news for what I had here.
Okay.
Want to go to the topic of the week?
Topic of the week.
Cool, man. It turned out to be a 2-part kind of because I put up the first part and people kind of took it another way, so I put up the second part, which made more sense. The 2-part question was this: what generation of consoles was the most important to the video game industry? And what I meant by that, I guess, was what generation of more than one console was more important than another one. So people kind of took it another way. I probably wasn't as clear as I should have been, so it kind of turned into what's the most relevant console?
Well,
Microsoft, Sony,
here's
Nintendo.
The thing. The way I took it was what generation of consoles was more relevant. And I would have to say the third generation. Third generation for me, starting in the mid-'80s, I didn't have Atari, so I did not include those.
Yeah.
First generation for me being Nintendo and Sega. Second was Super Nintendo and Genesis. Third being Nintendo 64, you know what I mean, and on.
Right.
So, like I said, for me, I would have to say it's the third generation. The third generation beginning in the mid-'90s, 94, 95. Nintendo 64 just came out.
Okay.
They came out with some great games. They had the Zelda Ocarina of Time. They had Super Mario Brothers 64. It's the first time you ever saw Mario, and not no longer side scrolling. Now it was in more of a 3D view where you'd be able to actually see your character and run
Yeah.
around and scream, and not just
Mm.
be left to right side scrolling. You know what I mean? So
Right.
so that
Right.
was that
Yeah.
was a huge leap. But the big main thing for me on what makes that console generation the most important was the birth of a new company, of a new
Mm.
player in the gaming industry, and the colossal blunder of the other one that caused that birth of that different company. I speak of course, is Nintendo. Nintendo, before they came out with the 64, they had contracted Sony, okay, to
Mm.
make them a disc loading console, okay? Because they
Right.
saw what Genesis came out with the Sega CD, and they thought, oh man, that might be the future of gaming. Let's try to get away from the cartridges and do some disc-based gaming. They went to
Sure.
Sony because, of course, Sony is this huge company in Japan that deals with all these
Mm-hmm.
CD players and stuff like that. Now, mind you, yes, people, Sony does electronics, not just TVs and a gaming system. You know what I mean? They also did CD players. They were one of the first ones to come out with CD players and stuff. So Nintendo went to them, contracted them to make them this new console that you would put discs in, and you'd play your Nintendo games on that. The problem was that Nintendo then saw it was going to be too expensive, and they didn't feel that the consumer base would purchase these games. So
Mm.
they backed out of the contract and left Sony with this console and didn't know what the hell to do with it. So what they did, they took it out themselves, and the birth of the PlayStation, that was it, man. And now back then, seeing it, if you put on, I remember my brother had a Nintendo 64, and he was like, "Oh man, this is badass." Bro. I'm like, okay. I go out back in '95, bam, PlayStation One. Pick up a PlayStation One. We're
Mm.
playing all these games. I pick up. I don't know if you remember this game, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub Zero. It was a lackluster game, but for what
Mm.
it was at the time, it looked
Yeah.
phenomenal. Now, mind you, my brother picked up the same game for the Nintendo 64, so he's got this
Mm.
game, and I'm over his place, and he's playing it, and I'm like, okay, why is it that when you play on your Nintendo 64 in the cartridge, you get to these supposedly cutscenes, it's more of a picture with the words in the bottom, and you read. I play the game on my PlayStation, and I'm actually watching the cutscene. They got the cinematographics up in there, and they got the CGI's going,
Yeah.
and it's phenomenal. It looked like actual people because they actually used actual people to do the acting, and because back
Yeah.
then that's what they primarily did. Look at Resident Evil 1, and they didn't really go into CGI. They went more into actual live action acting, and so all the
Right.
cutscenes in Resident Evil 1 was a live action cutscenes. Just like, Sub-Zero Mythologies, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why is it that yours look like this and this one looks like this? You know what I mean? PlayStation was such a leap ahead, and Nintendo, for not going ahead with their console, gave birth to the PlayStation. So anybody out there who is actually listening to this and is a huge PlayStation fanboy, you owe a whole lot to Nintendo. Because if it
To
wasn't for them,
Nintendo. Yeah.
PlayStation wouldn't have been around. So
They
they
wouldn't have
they
gotten the
well,
idea.
they wouldn't have been able to come out with it because Nintendo had the contract, and they contracted them to make this system. Okay, when they
Wow.
left the contract, they left
Yeah.
Sony with the rights to all that stuff because they didn't purchase it.
Yeah.
So now Sony had the rights to this console, and they're like, "What the hell do we do with this?" Well, let's put it out, and bam, the birth of the PlayStation. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
and for that time,
Man.
it was such a huge leap. Okay,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
yeah, you had the 3DO, and you had all these other consoles. You had Sega's Jaguar. It wasn't the same. It really was not the same.
Yeah.
PlayStation had the games. PlayStation had all the Final Fantasies. PlayStation had Metal Gear Solid. When that game came out, it had Siphon Filter. When those games came out, it blew everything else away. You know what I mean? You couldn't do those things on the Nintendo 64. You know what I mean? Nintendo decided, well, let's keep it cheaper. They went with the cartridges. They came out with the Nintendo 64. Great system. I give them props because they still had great games on it, like Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Mario 64, Smash Brothers. You know what I mean? Mario Kart. Just all their games look phenomenal on the system, but they really, really dropped the ball when they decided to stay with the cartridge rather than going with the disc. And it took them a while to get back up because their GameCube didn't do that well. They went with the small little mini discs, and it was just it wasn't the same as the PlayStation 2 because by that time PlayStation 2 came out, and then the Sega Dreamcast. Yeah, when the Dreamcast came out, it was somewhat more advanced than the PlayStation 2, but then again, the killer Xbox One came. Well, the original Xbox came out and just blew everything out the water.
Yeah.
Technologically, speaking, of graphic wise and how everything was, it just did. But for me personally, the most influential and most important generation of consoles was the third one for me, which was the Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1 era, because there was just nothing like it at the time. That was the beginning of games like how we know them today, of how they look and how they are, because before that, all you had was pretty colors on like the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, you know what I mean? Because, you see games like Sonic, Sonic 1, Sonic 2 on Genesis, and they look phenomenal, for what it was back then, you know what I mean? But when the new systems started coming out, and that one to me was the most important, because not only was it the birth of the PlayStation, it was more of the birth of how we see games today rather than how they were back then. You know what I mean? So for me personally, it would be that. Now, company-wise,
most relevant
company for me, it would have to be Nintendo. It really would. Nintendo has stuck to their guns of family-oriented. They've stuck to those guns since way back when they first came out with the original Nintendo. It is what it is. They've always been family-oriented. The Game Boy has always been family-oriented. They've had many fights with Sega. They've had many fights with Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and it is what it is. They've always just been on top. They just always has.
Yeah.
This current generation, they haven't taken off because too many people are interested in the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, seeing it as technological, powerhouses. Yes. Yeah. But when it comes down to actually fun gaming, fun family gaming, you know what I mean? Because as Nintendo is smart keeping it that way, because as us gamers, when we get older, we have our families. We like to keep our own gaming systems, like our Xboxes and our PlayStations, yes. But for the kids, you don't want them playing those games. You just don't, you know what I mean?
No.
So I have my Wii U in my living room. My kids play that with my wife, you know what I mean? My wife's a huge Nintendo fan, so it all works out. When it comes to the 3DS, I'm sorry, I'm a huge fan of the Vita, but the Vita doesn't fucking come close. It is what it is. All the games and everything that's on the 3DS, the sales, everything, the 3DS Nintendo just blows it out the water. They've had turmoil. They were on top with the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo. They had some battles, but they were still on top. 64, that huge blunder. I mean, they started going down. They really started going down with the freaking GameCube. A lot of people were talking. I remember back in 2000 when it first came out. Man, what a huge mistake. Blah blah blah. They should really get out the console game. Yeah, if they would have done that, they wouldn't have came out with the Wii and became number one, over all the other consoles, PlayStation 3 and the 360.
Yeah, we blew everything.
Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Go on VG Charts and look at the numbers.
More than twice.
Come on.
If you combined PS3 and Xbox 360. Oh my God, I can't talk. PS3 and Xbox 360 sales combined, they're about what the Wii is. I mean, you're talking, well into the 100 million units. Well into the
for the Wii. And so think about it. With the Wii U, it just hasn't caught up. It just really hasn't. But the games that are on this fucking system are phenomenal. The Marios on it are just awesome, dude. You know what I mean? My wife and the kids love playing Just Dance on it, and like the whole little thing, it's really cool. Big time family oriented, and to convert people who are hardcore gamers into wanting to pick up a Wii U because they've actually seen how it plays and the games that are on it, it says something. It really says something, because you know how hardcore Chaotic is. He's all Xbox, all Microsoft, all this and that. He comes over, sees the Wii U. He's like, damn, I got to pick up a Wii U. I got to pick one of those up because it's that freaking good. It is that good. You know what I mean?
The video you sent me almost convinced me to get one. Well,
wait until Zelda comes out. That Zelda comes out for it. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. They have such. Yeah. They have so many good games that are going to be coming out, and it will catch back up. It's just people are saying, oh, it's niche gaming. It's not niche gaming. It's family oriented, and Nintendo has always been family oriented. It is what it is.
And the names are huge. Think about it. The Metroid games, Super Mario Bros. These are all games of names that are just, that name's in the title.
Right, and see, here's the thing about the Wii U that I wish the other systems had. Their big gamepad, okay? My wife wants to watch TV. The kids want to play Mario, okay? My daughter wants to play Mario. My wife wants to watch TV. My wife turns on the gamepad, puts Mario on and everything on the system, goes on the gamepad, starts up Mario. She's able to play Mario on the gamepad while my wife is still watching TV. You're playing the whole game on your gamepad, and you don't have to worry about watching it on TV. So,
Or you could just look at the TV and play.
Yeah. No, see, here's the thing. You can watch the TV if you want to and play it that way.
Right.
But
it's also
but see, here's the thing. If you want to watch TV and want to watch something else, is what I'm saying.
Right.
You can play the whole game on your gamepad. Right. You know what I mean? And not disturb everybody else who wants to watch TV. I wish the 360 had something like that. I wish the Xbox One had something like that. You know what I mean? Then, I wouldn't have to have two TVs set up and all that stuff, because I could just turn on my system, bam, sit down with my gamepad, go upstairs, and play my freaking... I could be on Halo upstairs just chilling on my gamepad.
Yeah. No, that's a great option.
You know what I mean?
That's
freaking phenomenal.
No other system has. That's... when the GameCube came out, I picked up the GameCube specifically for Resident Evil 4. Because, I saw the reviews. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a system seller. I went right out and bought the GameCube just to play that game. That was the only adult game, really. That was huge. The mature game. That was huge on the GameCube. Because I just noticed when I looked at other games that I could play on the GameCube, there weren't really that many more like it. I remember that.
Right. Like I said, Nintendo is more family oriented than anything else. You know what I mean? Yeah. They'll come out with their more mature rated games, but it's more of a family oriented, family fun type of game. It is what it is. And for them to have that cornered, it's awesome. It is awesome. And their handheld system, they've blown out the Game Gear, which I have upstairs, which was a phenomenal system. How can you have a Game Gear and have color screen, play color games and everything on your system, and then Nintendo come, they got their little Game Boy and it blows it out the water with their freaking, black and white games, because they had more games. They had more, you know what I mean? It was just better.
Yeah, more.
It was just better, you know what I mean? So ever since then, all their Game Boys have just gone up and up and up and up and up, and now their 3DS is just freaking phenomenal. It just is.
The 3DS is.
It's a freaking powerhouse in itself. You know what I mean? It is. Yeah, it sucks if you don't own one. You're not able to play some of these games. I really wish that everybody did have them because, man, Bravely Default. No, oh my God, dude. Being able to play with your friends. You're able to sign them up as your friends online, and it'll from time to time send you their info, or just walk right by them and tag them, and then you're able to then use them in your battles. That when you're playing, it's just freaking phenomenal, dude. It is phenomenal. You use their characters. You're able to summon them like how you used to in the old Final Fantasies. You know what I mean? Throw up the little necklace and bam, summon your friend. He'll come out, do a big move, and bam. You know what I mean? It was just awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It is freaking phenomenal.
That is pretty cool. That's very cool, actually. Now I was thinking the generation to me that was seemed to be the most important generation was the one that's just beginning. To me, it just seems like it's going to be the most important because this is like we were talking about this the other day, how it's kind of serving as somewhat of a proving grounds for all three companies, and I just I do believe one of the three companies will be calling it quits during this generation.
But see, that's what's funny. In the beginning of every single generation, it's always been like that. It really it really always has been. I remember the PlayStation 2, Xbox Original, and the GameCube. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, Nintendo needs to get out of the race. They're done. Get them off. Get them off." And then when the Wii 360 and PS3 came out, it was like, "Oh, 360 needs to give it up. Microsoft needs to stop." You know what I mean? It's like really, but then it held the second spot, of course, right after the Wii because the Wii just blew up and just destroyed everybody's numbers. It held second place.
Oh yeah.
The whole generation until the new generation came out. So it's like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just for some reason I just think they're going to get going in a couple of years, and one of them's just going to say, "Listen, we've tried this console thing for years now. Let's just sell software."
I know, because there was.
I mean, I just.
I know, because one of the three companies this previous generation ended up losing really early on, well over $1 billion. Well over $1 billion right off the bat. And no, I'm not speaking of the red ring for the Xbox 360. It was just bad business, I guess, and they lost a ton of money. You know what I mean? And so
that sucks. I mean, it's
it
all
is.
Money.
It really is.
It really is. It's if you can make a profit, then the company's gonna stay around. But if they see long term, they're not making a profit. They got to do something else. I actually, when I think of the three companies, I believe I'm going back to basically almost the birth of the home consoles. I believe Nintendo is the most relevant and continues to be. To me, they just based on their library, it goes back to games, and I appreciate what Microsoft is doing with being able to do so much on one system, and Sony's trying to cater to the hardcore gamers, but it does go back to having fun, and Nintendo always gives me that retro feeling, which it's why I started playing games. It's why we used to go to the arcades. It's just because you're playing a fun game. I mean, they've got the titles like Castlevania, Contra. Remember how big Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was? Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, Mega Man, Pokemon. I just listed, since '85 when the NES came out.
Yeah.
It's been such a long time powerhouse. It wouldn't be fair for me to say Microsoft. I mean, they've been successful since 2001 with the home consoles, but before that, and PlayStation 1 came out in '95, so they've been out for a while too. But like I said, NES came out in '85, so they've been around for the longest time. They've got the best track record. They have a stranglehold on the handheld market for quite some time.
And you know what? Honestly, I believe that's why Microsoft hasn't gotten into the handheld market. They see that Sony has tried with their PSP and their Vita, even though they've had great games, and I own both of them. I do. But the thing is, it's just the sales are just not there compared to a
Yeah.
Nintendo handheld. The numbers are
No,
not
you're right.
there, and
It's
they're
not even
not gonna
close,
be
dude.
there. You know what I mean? They're
It's not
just
even
not. They're
close.
just not. They're really not. And it sucks that Microsoft doesn't get into it and just come out with something that's phenomenal, and I'm able to play like the 360 games on it or something. But nope, it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen anytime soon, and I don't think it is gonna happen. You know what I mean? They're no they. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be smart business because the money would not be there because of Nintendo's stranglehold in the market.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're right. And they probably have looked at that and said, listen, we can't compete with these guys in this market, so don't
Yeah,
even bother. It's kind of like what we said about, remember when Bioshock Infinite was coming out. Ken Levine said, I'm no dummy. Why come out with multiplayer when I know people are going to go back
right.
to the powerhouses, Call of Duties, Halos. It's the same thing all the time. It's like, people will be interested a little bit, and then they'll go back to what they know, which for handhelds would be
The
the
3DS.
3DS. Look how big the Game Boy
Yeah,
was. It came out with what 150 different versions, and everyone bought 150 different
I did.
versions,
I did. You know,
right?
I'm on
Right. I
my
mean, we just
one, two, three. I'm on my fifth 3DS. Yeah,
really,
I'm on my fifth
wow.
3DS. I started with the first one when it first came out, and then I traded up to a 3DS XL. I purchased my wife her first one, which was the small one as well, and then we traded up to an XL for her, and then we picked up two 2DSs
Wow.
for the kids. So it's like,
Oh
you know
wow.
what I mean? It's actually six. We've gone through six. You know what I mean? And that's just our household. You know what I mean? Each kid has a
Wow.
2DS, and my wife and I, we got our 3DS XLs. You
Wow.
know?
That is crazy. Actually, looking at the charts right here, um, you got the 3DS has sold just about 43
Mm-hmm.
million, and the Vita has sold
See?
7 million.
Big fucking difference. No. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. The Vita, it's a
Yeah.
phenomenal fucking piece of gaming. It just is. It has
Oh,
phenomenal games.
it's got
It
the
really does.
technology.
It
Oh,
really does. And I
absolutely.
love playing games on it.
You can't say it's not there.
But
That's
it's
that's
not the
true.
same as fucking Nintendo. It
Yeah.
really isn't. It really isn't, dude. Uh, I
Yeah.
mean, I got Donkey Kong Country 3D, which is the remake from way back the 64 days. I got all the everything Mario that has come out for it. It's just a phenomenal Pokemon, Animal Crossing, everything. It's just a phenomenal. You can't come close to it. You just
Yeah.
can't.
They even have it broken down in percentages. The 3DS, well, I'll just say Nintendo is holding on to 85% of the handheld market, and Sony's holding on to
Hmm.
15%. And then they have the current consoles. The Wii U sold 5.6 million. Xbox One is almost at 4 million, and PS4 is at 4.9 million. So it's the Wii U's not doing bad. The only thing is the Wii U came out, I believe, a year
Yeah.
ago, didn't it? November of
Hmm.
2012 was it? And the Xbox One and PS4 came out this past November. So they're creeping up really quick. I do think the Wii U is going to catch on, just like you said, with the games that are coming out. I do think it's going to catch on, start selling more. I do plan on getting one myself.
It's funny because when
Um,
the
you
3DS
know,
came out, the regular
yeah,
DS was outselling it like crazy. But see, the 3DS didn't have the games it needed for it to be the powerhouse that it could have been when it first came out.
yeah,
Now that the games came out for it, you can't freaking
yeah,
see it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And now here's the
yeah,
thing: all the analysts
mm,
when the 3DS came out, they were like, "Oh my god, they flopped. They should just stop. They should just continue making for the games for the DS and cancel their 3DS." You know what I mean? But now,
yeah,
where are those naysayers? You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't touch it. You can't touch the system. You know what I mean?
Yep,
And
you're
then
right.
that's just Nintendo's track record. And even if the Wii U doesn't do well,
Yeah,
they'll they'll go again at it next generation. There's no way that the Nintendo would ever fold. It can't,
Yeah.
because not only is if the Wii U flopped, the 3DS and the handheld market would keep the company afloat.
Well, that's what I
It
was
is what
just
it
about to
is.
say was if the Wii U doesn't do well, they got to be saying, well, that might not be doing well, but the 3DS is selling so well that we're making so much profit that the Wii U can
Right,
continue.
correct.
You know,
And they will have
it,
another generation. You have to see it all as a company as a whole. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
you're
that's
looking
true.
at PlayStation 4, and you're looking at their Vita. Well, the PlayStation 4 is doing awesome. Vita's not doing that well, but they're keeping it afloat because the PlayStation 4 is doing so well.
And the
Correct?
PS3 is probably still
Right,
selling well
right.
as well.
So
Yep, yep,
that is what
yep,
it is. It's just
yep.
it's good business.
And I'm guessing Microsoft's doing the same thing. That if they don't think the Xbox One is selling as well as it should be, they're probably still making a good profit on the
Right.
360. You know, so um, going to our Facebook page, we got some replies here. The most relevant company: Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo. Our buddy Amber says Nintendo,
Right.
and she says, "Well, after Atari came Nintendo, there was nothing like it when it first came out. It's the reason I became a gamer in the first
Likewise.
place. Almost, she says, almost like a gateway
Yeah.
drug." She said we would sit and play Mario Brothers over and over
Yeah.
again, and console gaming blossomed from
Yep.
that. And Mike, our buddy Mike, says Microsoft. They are the pioneer in computer programming. I'm sorry, gaming, and have molded our technological landscape since the early '80s. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good point too. See, everyone's got a cool opinion, man. I like to hear why. You know, that's why I kind of pushed them. I'm like, give us a reason why. Moody, I asked what generation of consoles was the most important in the video game industry. He put Nintendo, the Sega Mega Drive, and Nintendo. Did he mention
Yeah.
Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Good point, man.
Yeah.
Nintendo's that good. And Mike actually responded with he would say the Xbox, PlayStation, PlayStation 2 went above and beyond 8-bit gaming. So that's that. So actually, I was surprised we didn't get a ton of responses on that because of the question. Because I figured we'd be able to really find out what people favor out of the three
Right.
companies. In any case, you know what? I hope there continues to be three companies for years to come because it gives everyone three
Yeah.
options.
And it gives people like
You
me
know,
a chance to play a whole lot of different games on a whole lot of different systems. Because
right,
to just
right,
play one system and to play one
yeah,
style of game, my life would be
yeah.
boring as all hell. When it
It
comes to
would be.
gaming, I mean, come on, why
It
are you
would
gonna
be.
play the same game over and over and over? Like
Mm-hmm.
if I only had an Xbox 360 to play a Call of Duty games, oh hell no!
Right,
I wouldn't want to play
right.
that shit. I wouldn't call myself no gamer. You wouldn't be no
No,
gamer.
no.
You're a person that likes just that. No,
Yeah,
hell no.
right. That's a
Yeah,
recreational person. Any hardcore gamer is gonna want
yeah,
choices. I remember when I got the PS3 after my 360, I was excited because there was that whole mystery of how does it play, how does the homepage look, just the mystery and the excitement of playing a different console was exciting to me
yeah,
because
yeah. I mean, I'm
it
a
was just
glutton for
different.
punishment. I have the Wii U, the 3DS, the Vita, my PS3, my 360, my Xbox One, and right now,
Yeah,
and my Wii. I have my old Wii as well, and all the other
yeah.
systems. But right now, I can't wait for the
Hmm.
PS4 because I can't wait to play. See what games come out for the system. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like I
yep,
don't
yep.
have enough games to play already.
Right, right. And you're gonna add
Yeah,
eventually
and I'm
another
adding
console
another
to the mix.
console and a whole another consoles of games. So it is what it is,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, you're right, man. You're right. Listen, I want to get the PS4 just so I can play
Yeah,
Outlast. I'm a big horror
yeah,
fan. I was gonna see if my laptop can take the PC version,
yeah.
and if it can run it. And get a little gaming pad.
You're like, ah, run.
Yeah, it's $20 on Steam. You know.
Yeah,
But anyway, I was talking to my nephew last night about that. I go, yeah, man. Listen, I pick up a PS4. I can play Outlast for free. He goes, and you got to have PlayStation Plus. I go, yeah. He goes, so you're gonna spend $450 to play a
yep.
free game.
Yeah.
And I looked at him. I'm like,
Oh.
oh. Didn't look at him. But
I want to play that game.
what?
Goddamn it! You know, it is
Oh, all right,
what it
fine.
is. It is what it is. You know what I
I'll
mean?
wait.
You need to make do with your New Year's resolution there, Rich,
I know. Tell me
and
about it. I got too many things going on
start
at
coming
once.
up with those systems there, buddy.
I need a new
Woo!
elliptical
No,
machine. That's about
no.
$3,000
What you
right there.
need to do is start busting out with at least one system every 3 months, and that'll help you out. Now,
Yeah.
we're in the
Yeah.
second month of the year. Where's your first system?
Still
Where's that first system, man? Come on. See?
non-existent. Yeah, I got my
No, no, no,
3DS
no,
the
no,
other
no,
one.
no, no. No, 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 no. That's your daughter's 3DS. Let's get that right.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh. How about if I
No,
give
no,
it
no,
to?
no, no. That'll be messed up,
That'll
man. That'll be
count.
abusive.
That would be messed up, man. I
She's like,
won't do
ah,
it.
give me my 3DS back. I'm like, whoa.
Give me my 3DS back. Still didn't finish Link.
No,
Zelda, by the way. Nah.
she's got to get on that, man.
She gotta be finishing that thing up real soon. I'm sorry. You know. But anyway. Well, that's actually about it with all the notes.
Yeah, that's it for me, man.
Yeah. That'll wrap up episode
21. Woo. Our latest episode so far.
I'm telling you, it's the newest,
the newest one, man.
There's
You've
no
never heard this before.
I'll tell you, if someone can prove that we have a newer episode than this one right now, I'll give $1,000.
Damn. Let me put episode 20 as a 22 real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, right. Screw up the
like,
numbers.
22.
You know,
it is what it is.
Well, whoever's listening, you guys continue to please comment, like, subscribe, share, do it all, please. We
Yes. And thank you for tuning in, and keep on with the comments, and keep on with the sharing.
That's it, man.
All right.
That's it, man. So, till next week, we are two guys talking games.
Peace. Man.